Oh man, multiple sadness.
Welcome to round 33 of Eat the Buckle, the podcast that puts two horror movies in a head-to-head matchup where the loser will remain in the ring another week and we'll be forced to watch it repeatedly until we've determined the worst horror movie ever made. This week's matchup is 1986's Witchboard versus, once again, 2022's The Girls from the Women's Student Club at the Slimy Bowling Alley Part 2. And now,
Ugh.
if everyone could concentrate and rid themselves of their negative energy, I would like to summon the spirit of my recently deceased intrepid co-hosts. Josh, Aaron, are you here? Make yourselves known.
Whoa.
Let's watch a
We're
good
here,
movie.
What's it like in the afterlife? Is it all it's cracked up to be? Can I come with you?
No, the afterlife sucks.
So there's no release from this shit?
Jeremy
No.
Renner, he lied to you about death. It's painful and hurtful.
Jeremy Renner was
Yeah,
talking about.
Yeah, did you hear that interview that he just had this week where he was like dying was peaceful. Like apparently he died in that wreck. He says.
Oh yeah, did he like get run over by a snow blower or something?
I didn't know this, but like he broke so many bones in his body, including his face, that his eyeball came out of its socket.
Jesus.
Like when he came back from being dead, he says he saw his eye. And then he was like, well, that sucks. And then he saw his legs and he was like, that's going to hurt tomorrow.
Wow. So is he all Chris Pratt now? Doing it for God?
I didn't get into that part of the interview. I didn't see that.
Wow. So, but here he is still being, what's his dumb Marvel character?
Hawkeye?
Yeah,
Hawkeye.
yeah. And he's in well, at least the Mission Impossibles I've seen.
And he's in some show that they film randomly in Pittsburgh every now and again.
He looks too much like Jason Bateman. Right?
You think so?
Yeah,
No.
I think so.
He does kind of have the same putty face.
Well, especially now. I mean,
Yeah.
no fault of his own.
Oh,
Really.
no.
He definitely has a Ben Roethlisberger version 3.0 face, I believe now.
I think
But it makes sense, and we're
in
not
the
going to talk for it.
But I think in the Mission Impossible movies I've seen have had to have been before that accident.
Oh yeah, that accident just happened
And
in the last
he's still very
3 years.
puffy and looks to be reconstructed in some way. But I watched these movies and I'm like, that should just be Bateman. They look too much alike, and for my money, Bateman's way cooler. Get Bateman in there.
When I was
Yeah.
producing that,
Give Bateman a chance.
did you say you didn't like 2? Mission Impossible 2?
I hated 2.
I've only seen 1 and 2.
Oh, really?
And that's it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. After 2, I was like, all right, John Woo. Like, I don't mind John Woo, but I was just like, that was the one with Limp Bizkit
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
soundtrack. I was like,
2
yeah.
is definitely the dark spot of the entire series that is now, what, 7 movies deep?
8.
This is the 8th. Yeah, I found that out the hard way when I started watching. I was like, holy fuck, there's still 6 more of these things.
They're
But-
good.
They do get after 2. One I like, it's De Palma, which, he's kind of lost his way, but it was maybe his last good movie. But 2, I do like some of John Woo's stuff, but he was just not a good fit for this franchise, I don't think. But
What was the point of them jousting on motorcycles and then just throwing each other's chest into each other at like 40 miles an hour?
John Woo.
that's John
As they
Woo in
didn't
slow
they
motion.
have with two pistols aimed at each other?
No,
I
no
think.
pistols
No?
in that.
Just
I thought
no.
they had pistols.
Oh, there are pistols, but
think
in the joust scene, it's just them playing chicken,
Okay.
and then they jump off the motorcycles at the last second, and then still at the same velocity as they were going,
Yeah.
smash their bodies together.
Oh, that's right. And then they just kind of like did like a flip in the air and landed on the ground.
Yeah, after they'd already been fighting for what seemed to be 40 minutes, mostly in a lot of slow motion.
It's not good.
It was such a step down. But I had been told to just stick with it because after that the quality gets
Yeah.
I think increasingly better.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is a reason to watch the third. Like the third's
Yeah.
good, but he is so fucking good in it. And
Yeah.
and after that, the series just kind of takes flight.
Yeah, man, it's such a bummer that Philip Seymour Hoffman died. I was thinking about that while I was watching. I was like, he would be with the way most mainstream horror movies are going now, like especially with A24 and Neon and all that shit. Like he would be such a good fit for like an A24 type horror
Yeah.
character.
Well, he'd already been in 5 of them.
Yeah, and he would be fucking awesome. But yeah, it's such a shame. He's so good. And
Well,
yes,
Jared, we've seen
We-
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman says I wouldn't be in that shit if you paid me $10 million and
He says he
points.
hates Hereditary and Midsummer.
I don't believe you guys actually know Ghostly Seymour because he would love that stuff.
I'd like to be in an Osgood Perkins movie though.
Let me, Ghosts of Josh and Aaron, would you rather be in the afterlife or stuck in a trophy with Brinky and Taffy and what's her name? And Little Imp? Little Junior? What's it? Harold?
Harold the Imp and
Harold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa
name.
and Taffy.
We'll get there, folks.
Oh boy.
But when we get there, you'll have to let me know if you'd rather be dead or in that trophy. Because, but I don't know. How you guys doing this week in the afterlife?
I I would like to say that I'm tired, but I realize that is something that everybody says now. It used to be when you would greet somebody and you say, "Hey, how are you doing?" Just out of common courtesy, the correct answer to give somebody in that kind of conversation is, "I'm doing pretty good. How are you?"
Yeah.
And now what it's become is, "Hey, how are you doing?" "Oh, I'm tired. Oh, so tired." Everybody, whether they're a 60-year-old woman or whether they're a 16-year-old kid, tells you, "Oh, so tired." And it's like, yeah, I mean, I am too. But you know what? That's not really the fucking conversation I want to have with you right now. So how about you just tell me you're good and we move on to talking about the weather? Because I really don't want to hear how fucking tired a kid half my age is as he chugs his third Monster Energy of the day. Like,
broccoli haired fuck telling you he's tired. He don't know what tired is. He hasn't been through the rigmarole.
well, and it's just that. And again, I don't want to be that guy that's like, "Oh, you think you're tired? Well, listen to the week I've had." But at the same time, it's like, dude, I've put in 70 hours this week and it's Wednesday. And you're telling me you're tired.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation. Like, I don't know.
I love that that is probably not an exaggeration, and yet you still watch these fucking movies and sit here. We need to end this. I'm putting that out into your ghost world. If you have to take me with you, take me. For your sake, for your sanity.
I'll just tell you that I watched one of these movies last night, and as I was after getting off of work, it was one of my long days, and so I get home and I start the movie about 8:30, and I was just like, my eyes were heavy, and I was trying to keep them open, and I was like, this movie is not helping my situation at all.
But it was the first movie we're going to talk about today.
The first movie. Which, by the way, I went to track it on Letterboxd, and I had given it, I won't say how many stars, but I had ranked it 2 years ago. I was like,
so you watched it with Joe Bob.
Apparently. Yeah. I don't remember it.
My wife came in today and saw me watching it. She was like, "What is this?" I said, "Witchboard." And I said, "Supposedly we've watched this 2 years ago." And she was like, "I don't remember this." And I said, "Good, because I don't either whatsoever."
Nope.
I'll tell you, the reason as I was watching, I texted you guys and I was like, "Was this on Joe Bob?" Because I was sitting there watching, I'm like, this seems so familiar, like from the get-go. And the two men with the feathered mullet hair that are the hunks of the movie, the studs. I'm like, I know I've seen this before because I remember making comments about their hair. And then when you confirm that yes, it was a Joe Bob watch, I was like, oh, why did I pick this piece of shit?
I assumed it would have been like the second feature of a Joe Bob that I didn't make it through because I didn't remember it, but Letterboxd tells me differently.
Yeah,
And
it's episode 3 of season 5, so that had to be the first episode of the
Oh,
second
wow.
week.
Well, I won't remember it tomorrow either. In and out. Baby, should we just get into it since we're
Why
already
not?
talking about it? All right. Unless you guys have anything else you want to get to up top.
I'm fine. How are you, Jared?
Oh, I'm tired.
I'm tired. I'm
How
so
you doing?
tired.
How's it going, Aaron? I don't want to gloss over your
No.
intro.
It doesn't matter.
We're
It's
all
just-
tired.
We're all so tired.
All right. Well, the first movie is the aforementioned Witchboard. This was released. What a night to come out and go party it up and ring in 1987. This came out on New Year's Eve, 1986.
Woof.
Oh boy.
This, we get to play the box office game at a budget of $2 million. Did it eat the buckle at the box office? What do you think?
I sure hope it did.
No.
It did not eat the buckle at the box office.
At the box office.
I'm not even drinking. I can't talk. Directed, it made 7.4 million. So it doubled its money. Darn near tripled it.
More than, yeah.
Okay.
There is a sequel that came out 7 years later.
And a remake.
And a remake, which I almost watched that instead on accident.
Oh.
Oh,
So,
I did that today.
That's
where
going to happen one of these times.
Where I was like, I'm pretty sure it was 86. Why would we watch the remake?
Yeah.
We know the remake's going to be terrible.
Wait a minute. Did you say that's going to happen one of these days?
Oh,
like
wait, it
maybe when
did.
a movie called Elves?
It did happen. That's right.
Like maybe when a movie called Elves?
If we're still going next Christmas, we should watch the elves that you watched so that you didn't have to do it in vain.
Well, only if I could watch the elves that I should have watched.
So wait, did you not actually ever watch it?
I did.
Yeah.
I was mad because I had to watch two movies
right.
called Elves.
I can't.
But I actually ended up loving one.
I have watched
Loving it.
Elves at least 5 times since the podcast.
Yeah, oh, I know.
Anyway, Night of the Demons. No, Witchboard.
What?
The other one by Kevin Tenney.
Kevin Tenney also did Night of the Demons.
Yeah. Boy, we're in trouble tonight. Yes, written and directed by Kevin Tenney, starring Todd Allen, Tawny Kitaen, Stephen Nichols.
Patch from Days of Our Lives.
Who?
For those who celebrate.
Stephen Nichols?
Stephen Nichols was Patch, and then he became what's his name? The crime boss.
Chandler.
No. Ah, shit. I'm sorry. I just threw this right into the ditch.
And now you're gonna have to look it up.
Stefano. Yeah, Stefano Demira.
Oh, thank God.
When that actor died, he became possessed, because possession and exorcism is a thing that happens in Days of Our Lives, and he came back as the spirit through Patch.
Now, did you look that up prior to this, or did you just know that?
Some things should just be a secret.
Kathleen Wahoti, Burke Burns, and James W. Quinn. In this movie, some Lego-haired dork brings out his Ouija board at a party, only to summon a malicious entity hell-bent on raising hell. Gentlemen, off the top rope, what did you think about Witchboard? I think we already know, but let's get some detailed thoughts.
I don't remember this movie being this fucking dull. Holy shit, was it just a snooze fest of a movie.
Glacially paced.
It
one
was
could say.
None of the actors had any life to them except for the psychic character who had some spunk, but was
Zarabeth?
also
Mhm.
yes, but it was also like one of the most annoying characters in the movie.
Was she? I guess we're jumping a bit, but I'll ask it when we get there.
What?
All right.
Kathleen
The-
Wilhot? She's the
I
second
was
best
gonna-
thing in, well, second or third best thing in Roadhouse. I can give you that much.
I was going to ask if she was Gozer from Ghostbusters.
Oh, no.
Gozer the Gozerian.
No, Wilhot's got a ton of credits to her name, but I don't think Gozer was the Caesarean was ever one of them.
She also looked or acted as if she was doing an Urkel impression.
This
Mm.
would have been pre-Urkel.
It was like
Was it?
kind
Yeah, I
of
guess
like
so.
a Annie Potts from Ghostbusters meets Steve Urkel.
Yeah, maybe old Jaleel White took his act from her. That's right.
Yeah.
I guess 1986 would have predated Family
Yeah.
Matters. Well, shit.
But,
TTFN.
but to be fair, Urkel was really just a take on every nerd character from an 80s movie.
True.
So,
True. First scene of this movie, the establishing shot of the outside exterior of the house.
Of Waxwork.
I couldn't tell if it was my TV or if I was having a brain hemorrhage, but was it super shaky for you guys?
Not that I recall, and I just watched
I don't
it
remember being shaky.
3 hours ago.
That's the only scene that did it, so I think it must have been. Maybe I watched.
It must be a mental illness.
But yeah, it was very shaky. I was like, oh my god, if the whole thing is like this, I won't be able to make it through 2 minutes.
Were you watching on Shudder?
No.
I watched on Shudder. It didn't do that. that I
Tubi, I
recall.
think.
I watched
Tubi,
on
maybe?
Tubi.
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe I was having a little mini stroke.
I thought the theme at the beginning you were going to say reminded you, since you just watched so many of them, of the Mission Impossible theme.
Didn't even clock it.
Oh, the bass line in that, it's just like the same thing.
I was kind of amused when the movie credits start with a Kevin Tenney film. And then I look this guy up, and this was his second movie, and he was already sucking himself off to the point of putting his name at the very beginning. His first movie was A Book of Joe. Have you ever heard of that?
Joe?
No, I saw it on the credit, but I it didn't ring anything to me.
It's one thing if you're Quentin Tarantino and you have a breakout hit for you to put your name at the beginning of your second movie. It's another thing if you're Kevin fucking Tenney and your first movie is Book of Joe. What a piece of shit.
I admire the balls on the man to do that.
Take something.
I think when you write and direct, do you get that option?
I think you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'd want to put my name on it till I saw how the crowd reacted to it.
Till you didn't give a shit anymore, right?
Sure.
I thought, Jared, you were going to say that you thought you were watching Waxwork again.
Yeah, I did have that thought. Yep. Is it?
Yeah.
You're sure?
I thought it looked familiar, yeah.
Yeah. They use it in
Billy
Willard
Peltzer's house.
and Waxwork.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So who did Rosemarie play?
She got an introducing Rosemary, right? Or
special guest.
No,
special
Rosemary.
appearance by.
Special
yeah,
appearance.
That was Dick Van Dyke. Rosemary played the landlady.
Oh, that was a very special appearance.
She was special. She was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was a very comedic actor and writer.
We open with what I can only assume was a very accurate portrayal of Trump's most recent crypto party that he's had with
the
crypto bros that had to pay $1 billion to
the swinging young Republican Party.
Yeah, it was certainly that.
And at that party, the Lego haired guy named Brandon, was it Brandon? Brandon.
Yeah, that's Patch from Days.
He pulls out so the guy just travels with his Ouija board.
Oh, that whole, I know Josh has been made to watch the how you pronounce thing or like the pronunciation video on YouTube.
Wiggy.
about the Weggy board.
There
My
goes that
Weggy board.
fucking Cybertruck.
On your street?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
That's-
not going to make it out.
That's out of place.
Oh, I haven't. I'm sorry to hijack the conversation. That was one of the people that has the at the end of our road is the access to the rich community, like the back way in.
Oh
And
yeah. It's up
some
there.
fucking dickhead that lives in that community bought himself a Cybertruck and drives it up and down this road 3 and 4 times a day now. But his little Cybertruck is so precious that he goes like 5 miles an hour. It slows to a crawl over every little hole in the road because he's afraid that the whole thing's going to fall apart should he take it.
It will. It
At a
will.
clip.
To be fair, there are multiple craters on that road.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
But not
From my memory.
not that bad and not right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, he loves to take the back road into the
Yes, because
into-
that's
the-
off-roading.
yes. Yeah. And I think he also just likes to show it off to all the pilgrims living on the access road. And
Off-roading on a street with
one
a
of these
name.
days, I'm gonna go out there and I'm just gonna throw some tire spikes down.
You'll give
I'm
him
sorry.
You'll give him a flat while he's on his way to bring out his Ouija board at his
What-
high society party.
While he's towing his ski-doo down to the lake.
I did have a
Alright.
note that with the pronunciation of he makes it a point to correct the guy's pronunciation. He's like, it's Ouija from German and France. And then multiple times, including the very next time he says it, he calls it a Ouija board. That gave me a chuck.
My first big note on this movie is the Tawny Kitaen using a toothbrush to clean out that U-trap and then just
Right.
putting the toothbrush back
I had
Yeah.
without
I was
washing
gonna-
it. That is the scariest fucking thing in this
Uh-huh.
movie.
I was going to ask you what you thought of her plumbing skills, and then I did have she put the toothbrush back with 3 exclamation points.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the skill. If you really wanted to get the ring out of there without being dirtied, because she chips her giant nails, she did have good French tips. So I
Wait,
get
is
it.
this an Eat the Buckle home improvement tip?
Well, kind of. But all she had to do was completely undo that U-trap and then just turn it upside down
Right.
and it would have fallen right out and then
Yes.
reconnect it. If she knows enough to be like, oh, I take this French.
She did
and I sit
half
there
the
and-
job.
Yeah.
She disconnected one portion.
One side of it,
the
one run
connection.
was fine. And if you had like you could have taken anything, like a paper clip with a hook to it, whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of your 3-inch Flojo nail that you put in there, or the stupid toothbrush, like you could have done anything, like just unhook it and be done with it.
Toothbrush. Ugh, God. You know what?
Yeah.
That
And you
makes
knew
me
that was
say
that was Jim's
multiple
toothbrush.
sadness.
Multiple sadness.
That's
You
a
know
phrase.
I pulled that clip already.
That is a phrase I will be using in perpetuity until I join you
When that-
both in the afterlife.
When that Cybertruck breaks down in front of Josh's house, just go out on the deck and go, multiple sadness.
I loved that guy.
I wish he
Lloyd-
would have stayed around longer.
I know. Lloyd was great.
I enjoyed his death though.
Yeah, his death actually, that was a good jump scare.
It was a
got
good
me.
setup, yeah.
Yeah, that was that.
You knew it was coming, but it's
I didn't.
the trick of putting the what do you mean you didn't hear the ominous music and his hammer being on top of that pallet of drywall?
Well, I mean, I didn't know in that that it was going to happen like that.
Yeah,
'cause
but it
did scare me.
quick.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I expected
Yeah.
it to be like a longer setup, but
I didn't expect Jim Todd Allen to be standing 3 feet away from it. I mean, it looked like it fell 10 feet. So I was like, God bless. How'd they clear that with safety?
yeah. And then
They didn't.
no. And then later in the movie, that back on the very same work site, Brendan shows up to try to talk to Jim, and they just like let him walk through. No safe hard hat or safety gear or anything. Like, didn't someone just die here 2 days
Yeah.
ago because of an accident?
No one had a helmet on
I
on that
know.
site.
Well, to be fair, Brandon's hair was a helmet, so he was already equipped.
And
That
and let me give you some insight into the construction business as
Mhm.
from a prior life.
Mhm.
If you act like you know
Before
what
you
you're
died.
doing, yeah, or that you're supposed to be there, you can walk onto any job site whatsoever and just walk around, and no one will ask you who you are, why you're there.
But that may be true. I'm not going to argue that. But this guy was showing up like, "Do you know Jim? Do you know Jim Stansel? Where is he? I need to." Like, clearly didn't know where he was.
But
His
they knew
way
Jim,
around
so
that
they
site.
knew who he was looking for.
That's true.
Now, why you would have your AC Cobra at a job site in the dirt and driving over nails and everything, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable, especially after he freaked out on Jim about his new tires being exploded.
Which was the cause of multiple sadness.
Multiple sadness.
This game, Josh, you mentioned the hair. That everybody in this movie had video game hair.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, no matter how good video games get, how advanced they get, they like cut scenes of video games, they will never teeth and hair. They will never be able to
Never get it
do
right.
hair
Yeah.
properly. It's always like, 4 chunks that move independently, and that's what everyone in this movie had, that hair. There wasn't actual strands, just blocks.
Yeah. Now,
Polygon hair.
would you
Polygon
say
hair.
Stephen Nichols had blowjob hair?
Oh, 100%.
Because
Yeah.
we've talked about blowjob hair on here before, right?
I don't know if we have. We've talked about
We've talked
blowjob
about blow-
eyes.
I know.
If we have, we should if we have or haven't, we should say, I guess the quintessential blowjob hair was Sawyer from Lost. I think that's where that came from, was one of
Appearing
our
now on
friends.
HBO Max, Duster.
He was in a Mission Impossible, and Erica was like, "Is that blowjob hair?" So he will, but yeah. So just Google, what's his name, Josh something from Lost, played Sawyer, and you'll get the idea of blowjob hair. But yeah, I would say this guy had blowjob hair.
I thought Todd Allen kind of had like blowjob hair light. It was a little too done up to be real blowjob hair.
Yeah,
But Brandon
Who's
definitely
Todd
had.
Allen?
Huh?
Who is Todd Allen?
Jim.
Oh, Jim.
Yeah.
Jim was a hunk.
he was a hunk, but man, was he a dumb shit.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of chest hair in these movies this week.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
a hunk. I wish the women in Sorority Babe Slime Bolorama 2 would have gotten a look at him, because he would have been the
Oh.
man of their dreams.
Oh boy, I didn't. We'll get there. Jim's chest hair, he had. Did you notice like a perfect little picture at the green of a golf course, and the what is the like fringe area
rough.
around the
The
rough?
first cut. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he had around his nipple, where it was like this weird half inch perfect cement radius around his areola that was bald. It was weird.
Yeah, it's for the ladies. The ladies
looked
don't
like
put
he
their
did it on
lips on their hair.
Oh.
I couldn't stop looking at it.
It's because he's a hunk.
And yeah, I got it. Maybe a little bit aroused.
Those jeans he's wearing, those were some ball splitters.
Yeah, there was some ball splitting jeans going on.
That was actually my first note. Was Jim is wearing some ball splitters.
Oh man, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah,
I have plenty of questions to ask the crew today.
They have the Ouija party. They invite the ghost, the spirit that turns out they think it's a kid called David, but it's actually a malevolent spirit named Maldor. What was the name of it?
Malvader?
Maldor Vader?
Darth Vader.
So they have this party, and then it shows the after, like that night, and it's showing like scenes of the party and the disheveled apartment and everything. And my question to you guys is, are you people that clean up immediately after a party? Do you wait till the next morning? What's your protocol there?
As someone who just had a party
Yeah.
this weekend,
Uh-huh.
I can
heard.
tell you nothing got cleaned up at 3 a.m.
See that when I saw the shots of this after party in this movie, I was like, I could never. I don't know if it's OCD
I know
or,
you
like,
are a clean up the night of person.
I have to, even if it's like
You clean up other people's houses after a party.
it's
We've
such
had
an
parties
OCD
like
thing.
when we've had people over, whatever the few times you stayed at my place when you've been in, and we've been drinking the night before, I'll get up the next day and like it's like a troll came through and just cleaned everything up while we slept.
Yeah, is that
It looks somehow better than it did before the party.
there's just, and this isn't me like judging any at all. Like, it makes sense to just do it the next day, but like for me, if I walk out and see the shit, it just I don't know, it makes me sad immediately. I'm like, oh no, what did I do last night?
Ultimate sadness.
Yeah,
Was,
it's ultimate sadness.
That seance with Will Hot, what were there already aluminum cans like as a trophy for Jim?
I didn't get that.
I didn't either.
And they
Or
were
was
like
it just
mixed Pepsi and beer.
Yeah, or was it just so that the spirit could smash into something and not break anything on the house?
I was thinking about that. Okay, so that they have a seance with Zalamar, what's her name?
Zarabeth.
Aforementioned Zarabeth. She makes her appearance as the medium who's supposed to talk to the spirit to see what it wants, and she's tells him, this isn't shown in the movie, but it's alluded to that he had to set up for the seance Jim does when he gets home. And to me, it looked like there was just a candle on the table. And then I see in the background a huge beer mid of cans.
I didn't pause
bigger
it.
than the
It was
but
a
it
wall.
was like four.
Yeah.
It was 4 cans tall, wasn't it?
It was like the
It was
Ghoulies
higher.
3. It was like the Ghoulies 3 beer pyramid that they
It
made.
was. Yes.
But
Was
and
it-
so I,
And he was very
Foreshadowing?
proud of himself. He's like, I set it up exactly how you
Yes.
wanted it.
yeah.
It just had to be foreshadowing for when he goes through the glass himself, right?
I was thinking a lot about this, guys, today. That particular. I have
Staring up into a giant
Yeah.
fluffy cloud,
yeah.
wondering.
My ruminations.
Once again, hand
One of-
on fist on chin.
One of my pointless ruminations that have taken up my whole day. But I think I've landed on that it was to, as happened, the spirit escapes through the window so that they could hear it and have
Oh.
evidence of like, oh, it must have left because it knocked over this wall
Yeah.
of cans.
Yeah.
Not that it could have just run alongside and held out its spiritual arm and knocked them over.
Or the fucking ghost and probably wouldn't actually make contact with cans if it didn't want to. I don't know.
Yeah, have to ask
Jared,
Timmy, I
that's not
guess.
how spirits work.
Well, you would know. You guys are the amongst them now.
Yeah.
Gonna have to
Ouija
seance every
Ouija is the rotary phone of the afterlife. Like, if you need to pad your film out, just throw a Ouija board in.
Oh boy, yeah, yep.
I was thinking about when I was watching the Ouija scene where it kept answering no. And also, like, her hand kept like spinning around the board and it would go back to no.
Mhm.
I'm like, wouldn't it just stay on no
I
and
don't
not
know.
move?
I think in traditional Ouija, it does like move to show that it is
Right. But what kind of
answering.
dumb shit spirit is like, let me guide your hand around in circles 3 times, then go back to no? I would, if I was a spirit guiding a Quidja, whatever it's called, I would,
Planchette.
a planchette, I would just stay on no because I'm lazy. And I'm like,
Maybe
there's
it
your
was the
fucking answer.
spirit. It was the spirit of Steamboat Willie going, no, stop it.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it.
Or it was the spirit's way of saying, I'm tired. Spirit, how are you? I'm really tired.
How you doing, spirit?
I-R-E-T.
God, even the spirits are fucking lazy.
What was the collar that Brandon had on at that dock?
Oh man.
I need your homework assignment is to ask your wife what that
Yeah,
style is called because I want one of those pullovers.
I will.
It's like a sweatshirt with a collar.
It
He's got
was,
popped.
it was like he was working on a whatever milk farm and the Tatooine planet or wherever fucking
A milk farm on the Tatooine planet.
is that where Luke Skywalker's from?
Yeah.
Yes,
But-
he worked on a milk farm.
Speaking of which, really weird multiple Star Wars references.
Oh, I got a bad feeling about this.
That and I think at least twice, maybe 3 times there was "I love you, I know."
Yeah, I heard that.
And at least 5 times, "I've got a bad feeling about this." Do you think like so Jedi would have been 3 years prior to this and probably still pretty big in the
Well,
pop culture. Do you think a producer was like, "Hey, the kids love the Star Wars. We need to inject some Star Wars," and all they could do is shoehorn in, "I got a bad feeling about this."
all right, picture this.
I
know.
Middle
I think
80s.
David Tinney gleefully added those nods in.
Yeah, middle 80s in California, Burbank
Mhm.
will say. Kevin Tenney, is it Kevin?
Yes.
Yeah, he's sitting.
Kevin, did I say David Tinney?
It doesn't matter, but it's just Mr. Tenney is sitting at his word processor / typewriter and going, "Well, it worked 5 years ago. No one will remember it. I'll just go ahead and use that again because it works."
Yeah.
It worked in the Book of Joe.
I really, really, really liked how oh, I don't have the character's name. Linda, the main gal. Yeah, Linda.
Tawny Kitaen.
Yeah. How she would flip the fuck out when
She
people
could
would sneak up
scream.
on her.
She could scream.
Listen, I actually, when
You
I saw
sneaked
that,
up
I
on
was
her.
like, I bet Erica loves that.
Yes.
Did she enjoy this outburst?
She really did. And then it happens some other character that happens to in the graveyard when Jim sneaks up on Brennan, he flips out
Yeah.
too. Kevin Tinney does not like getting sneaked up on. Sneaked up on? Snuck up on?
Oh man.
Snookered?
What municipal park does Jim get thrown to at the very end? Because that's not outside his window of the apartment of the
Oh yeah,
waxwork house.
That Raimi wannabe shot.
I mean, it was a cool shot where it pushed him out,
Mm-hmm.
but he like falls into a high school parking lot. Not the established exterior of the giant mansion that he rents a part of.
He rents that mansion.
That
No, just part.
On a construction worker's salary.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not the whole house. It's just part of it.
No, but it's a fucking nice apartment.
Wow. You don't know how bad the water is there. It could be
real
soft water and the heat doesn't work. All the asbestos.
We're going to have to take a quick break.
All right.
And have a little more of this seance. Don't go. Stay with me, guys. We'll be back.
We're not going anywhere.
More Miller Lights for us to knock around.
All right. Fucking Witchboard. All right. Send one out. I got to pee.
Bring me a bottle of wine.
Did we stop the record?
No.
It still says recording.
Yes.
I stopped mine.
Not me.
God damn it! How many times have I told you not to sneak up on me?
I'm sorry. Next time I'll wear a bell.
Why don't you just rattle your fucking head next time?
So Josh touched on how dull this is and the slow pace of it, and it is. And I was is there only 2 deaths in this movie?
Yeah.
There's Lloyd gets the sheetrock dropped
Yeah.
on him, and
And
then
then this Beelzebub the psychic gets
Oh, wait,
there's
yeah,
three.
impaled.
There's
three.
three.
Yeah, so Beelzebub, and then Brendan, the Lego hair Ouija expert. So 3.
Because the lieutenant with the
That-
racist lips, he doesn't die, right?
No, he
What?
doesn't. Racist lips.
I honestly, as we're recording this,
Are we
I
talking
can't-
about the homicide detective?
the homicide detective? Yeah, I can't remember.
He had a real Dave Coulier demeanor, didn't he?
He was,
Yeah.
he was giving me Pullman.
That might be an old Jesus and Miro joke about people that don't have any actual lips, like pink to their face, are the biggest racists ever.
Like Corson Larry.
Yeah. But this guy looked like Dollar General Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
And
Who
what's
is a
the-
noted racist.
Burke Burns? We're not. I think you're still with us. It's not you. It's me. Saying that.
Yes, we don't know. We cannot say, confirm nor deny whether or not his lips are racist. They may look it.
But he was born in 1937 in Oceanside, Long Island, so chances.
Oh, he's racist.
Yes. If you had to put some odds on it.
Yeah.
I hate to be
Uh,
that person, but we'll just say allegedly.
That's
We'll
actually where
say
my
it's-
notes for this movie stopped, was with him.
What is the first appearance? Holy shit, man.
At that point, I was just like, I'm along for the ride. Here
That's
we go.
amazing.
Actually, no, my last note was about his juggling act in the
he's
hospital waiting room.
Carrying oranges with him and his Dockers. Where's he putting those oranges?
Oh, yeah.
He had a sports coat.
Yeah, but he had like 6 oranges on him.
Well, he had a sports coat. Many
He
pockets.
he was a little annoying. I didn't like his talking in riddles all the time.
That's
I'll
he's
just-
very,
Just
very
get to
Dave
the
Coulier.
fucking point.
The second
I
half
was
of
just
this
expecting to
movie.
be like, cut it out and show me where that hammer is.
The second half of this movie, all I could think of was they're just down the street from Jack Frost.
From what's
From our
Snowminton?
Christmas series. Jack, yeah, they're in Big
Yes.
Bear.
Yeah.
And they were like filming on the direct opposite side of where they filmed Jack Frost.
Oh, man, they were the rival
Oh,
town
you
of
think they're across
Snowminton.
the street of a haberdashery?
Not to say that I got on Google Maps today
But you did.
and triangulated where like the Wishing Well Motel was in relation to the post office. But just say, take my word for it.
Was
And
Wishing
I-
Well Motel real? Is that a
Yeah,
real location?
It's a real, yeah.
Do you
Oh.
think that house was in the speed run path that the kids were going to take at the beginning of Jack Frost? Was it that close?
That would have been no. I think it was the other side of the lake.
Oh, okay.
I'm fairly certain.
I'm already
Okay.
excited for the next Christmas run of our shows. Because I'm bringing Jack Frost 2, baby.
I watched
going
it,
back.
and it is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
I mean, if it's worse than the first, then there's not much lower to go.
It'll be 6 weeks of that. Just so you know.
I got a little choked up at the end of this movie.
Shut your fucking mouth.
There's
Why?
a big because Jim and Brandon were childhood friends, and then a girl got in their way. And Brandon's all like,
Do
you know,
not.
So who cares?
Brandon's
Do
like,
not for a moment lie and say that you gave a shit about these
no, because
these
Brandon
boring ass idiots relationship.
They do a good character arc because Brendan talking to Linda, who he was in love with, and then they stopped being friends because Jim took her, and he's like, he doesn't care about you. He's never cried before. That's because he doesn't have any, empathy or whatever. And then at the end, when Brendan dies, Jim cries for him. That choked me up. My lip shook a little bit.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
shut.
This is a fucking act, right? Are you being serious?
I got choked up.
You for real got choked up. You got emotional at Witchboard.
My eyes welled.
No, he's lying.
My eyes glistened,
This
brother.
is a bit, and it's making me angry.
I'll never tell. It was a good character arc. It was good writing. He
Yeah.
cried for his best friend who hated him and said he was a sociopath that couldn't cry.
Yeah.
Getting teared up right now.
And then he popped the Lego hair off his head and stuck it onto his own.
So this, in honor of you, I will wear your cap.
I'll drive your sweet Cobra all the way back to LA
That was the last
without your driving gloves.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
How many witchcraft trinket stores are there in tourist towns usually?
Yeah, that was.
Is there one, like, if you go up to Acadia National Park, is there just a witchcraft on the side of the road?
Not that I've seen,
or like in Bar Harbor.
Not that there should be, and we'll open one.
Mm.
The first merch store / witch haberdashery.
Because that lady could have solved the whole fucking movie in 5 minutes if you just would have gone to her. They just would have gone straight to Big Bear to figure out David. Which now, sitting here talking about this, how do they know to go to Big Bear?
It's where his.
I know it's where he died,
they told him that's where he was from.
But they lie all the time, so why would you?
Yeah, but David was a trustworthy one. That's why they
He
thought
wasn't that trustworthy.
Well, no, they thought he was lying, but he wasn't. It was Maldor that was lying to him. It was Maldor the whole time at the party, and subsequently after it. David didn't come in until they went to his hometown,
right?
And that's when they realized that this wasn't David at all. Ever.
Well, no, David was there at the beginning, but then
no,
it was only when she did it alone.
When she did it alone,
that Maldor came into the picture.
Yeah,
no, because
Maldor Vader.
They asked David at they're sitting on the docks if he was there at the party, and he said no.
Okay, whatever. I don't care. What's your game of the week?
I want to talk more about the emotional devastation.
There is no emotional devastation
brought to me. You guys want to play a game?
I want to play a game.
If you don't start playing a game, we're gonna smash aluminum cans against a window.
Don't anger the spirits.
I wouldn't want that. This is a new game. We're introducing a new game called Begore and Slashter. Begore and Slashter.
That's a good one.
What's that a play on?
Before and after.
Oh. Okay.
So, like the Jeopardy clue of before and after, I'll give you a clue that involves 2 movies, and you'll have to mash up the titles of those movies to get the answer.
I'm
going to do terrible at this because the only time I've watched Jeopardy is in The Burbs.
Well, for instance, each answer will have at least one movie we've watched, and then a popular movie, and some might be 2 movies we've watched. For instance, and this isn't a movie we've seen, but the clue would be like, in this movie, John Ritter adopts a pint-sized menace, and things go off the rails when he brings his murderous doll with him. And the answer would be Problem Child's Play.
Oh. Did you cry at that one too, when he realized Junior really did love John Ritter's character?
I fucking hate Problem Child.
Watch it now in your 40s. I'm sure you'll cry like a fucking broken sink.
Probably just start crying when he sees John Ritter.
So 2 ways to play this, because it probably will be tricky. You guys can play as a team and try to work out the answers together and go against me. Or
why don't we
buzz in and try to answer it?
In this episode of male solidarity, why don't we play as a team?
Okay.
You want to play as a team? I was gonna. Okay.
So that Jared can cry at our our going at it together.
It's up to you guys. You can go against each other or go as a team and work it out.
Josh, it's your birthday week. You do what you want.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Let's play together.
Okay. So if you get more than 4, or we'll say 6, if you get less than
If
five,
we get 4, we get to share a pencil eraser topper.
then I win.
If we get 6, we get a $5 coupon to McFlurry. Okay,
We
let's
we
go.
get a rubber ducky like the one I won this weekend off of 400 tickets at Tropics.
Whoa!
Oh, plug.
All right. So let's start easier and get harder. In this movie, a holy artifact filled with Christ's blood is the key to stopping worm-brained zombies in a picture that is sure to thrill you.
Okay, Demon Knight.
So
what's the
Demon Night of the Demons?
We haven't watched Night of the Demons.
You're real close.
Oh wait, Demon Night of the Creeps.
Correct.
Okay.
Do we only get one answer?
You can talk about it and then each answer.
Yeah,
say.
that's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So you got one there. Next one. Viewers will be shocked to find out what happens when your child's evil playthings come to life in this animated horror film.
All right, so that's demonic toys with what? With an animated film.
Demonic Toy Story?
Is that a guess?
Yeah,
What do you think?
I think that's you understand the rules. I know the movie we've seen, and you understand the wordplay. So yes, demonic Toy Story.
That is correct.
Although
It is demonic Toy Story.
it's demonic toys
Oh, stop.
and Toy Story.
Shut up. I'm doing the best I can. In this picture, this picture is a dramatization of a real-life televised interview between disgraced former president and a killer mutated snowman.
Oh,
Well, that's Jack Frost, and David Frost. But how is it? How are you going to tie that?
I think I got it.
Okay.
Jack Frost Nixon.
Yep.
Shouldn't it be Jack Frost v. Nixon? Isn't it
It's
Frost
Jack
versus?
Frost / Nixon.
Okay.
The movie's called,
there's no-
or the play is Frost / Nixon.
There's no verses like Doll Man versus
No.
Demonic Toys.
So, it'd be awesome if it was Frost versus Nixon and it was a wrestling movie.
3 for 3. You guys are crushing it.
We're gonna get that pencil topper.
The next picture is a biopic about a gonzo comedian who becomes horribly irradiated and kills people with laughter.
I think I got this one.
Go for it.
The Incredible Melting Man on the Moon.
Yeah. Damn. You guys are crushing it. I didn't think you'd get this many.
I would. You know why I said let's work together?
Mhm. All right, here
Listeners, I don't have the answers.
we go. Nope.
I am not quiz showing this.
What if the stakes were so high that was why I gave you the answers beforehand for this shit? All right, next one. There's what, 4 more.
Your answer, please.
Oh man, that movie rules.
It is a great movie.
A
Let's
treat.
just watch quiz show next time.
Hell
Talk
yeah.
about it.
A trio of devious demons summoned via shitter are duped into taking care of a young infant together.
All right, so that's Ghoulies Go to College.
I got it.
Go for it.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Do I need to say the full title of the horror movie? Because it's not going to make sense if I do.
No, just, make it make sense for the answer.
Ghoulies, 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh, well, yeah, it doesn't make sense if you say Ghoulies
Shut
3 Go to
up!
College and a baby.
Just go with it.
Men and a baby.
I threw this together before we recorded. I was in a hurry. 5 for 5. A magical rhyming creature gets paroled from prison, but his flight home is hijacked by a group of nefarious inmates.
Leprechaun Air.
But how?
Shut up.
How does that work? Leprechaun Air. Alex Trebek is rolling in his grave right now.
No, he loves this.
This is like some.
Let's ask him, Ed.
Yeah. Go give him these and he'd be like, yeah, of course that makes sense.
Let's see that was. I just looked. The microphone up to his gravesite.
What was that motion you were just doing where you're rolling some bones, throwing some little chicken bones on the table?
Bear insanity just took over my body.
6 for 6 so far. Next one.
We're getting that gift book.
You've already got it. You're working your way up to the Super Nintendo, a Nintendo head cleaner.
Would you say I am riding the coattails of a dead man?
A couple of Costco costume-clad Ren Fair demons struggle with their commitment to baseball as they come to a crossroads in their hardball careers.
Oh Lord!
All right, so
that's terrible with baseball movies.
That's Goalies Major League?
No, Goalies
for Love of the Game?
Goalies for Love of the Game.
It is Goalies for the Love of the Game.
Nice, Ed.
You got one. There you go.
I never would have gotten for Love of the Game.
That was the Sam Raimi movie. You believe that?
I raised from
the only one I haven't seen.
So is Indian Summer. Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah.
It's garbage.
I remember, you can cut this out, but if you don't want it in here, but I remember after a sleepover at a friend of ours' house when we were kids, we rented the night before we rented Indian Summer on VHS, and then we were like came home and popped it in on like a Saturday by ourselves as latchkey kids. You were laying on the couch and just started puking all over yourself and all over the couch. It was so gross that I started puking. And then we had to clean it up because our parents were gone.
Oh my God! I don't remember that.
I don't think we made it through Indian Summer.
Oh man!
But no,
that was a terrible movie. I don't remember that memory.
Yeah,
but that might have something to do with my disdain for it.
You can cut it out if you don't want that.
No, that's awesome.
That is staying in.
All right, last one. You guys are 7 for 7. I did not think it would go this well. Last one. A quirky beat poet with commitment issues finally ties the knot, but the newlyweds' honeymoon in a remote Italian villa turns deadly when they find themselves in the path of a sadistic serial killer in this film.
So I married an ex-murderer torso? How's that gonna work?
No. Could you give the clue one more time?
A quirky beat poet with commitment issues finally ties the knot, but the newlyweds' honeymoon in a remote Italian villa turns deadly when they find themselves in the path of a sadistic serial killer in this film.
That first one is definitely So I Married an Ex-Murderer.
Yeah, so I aired it. Are you sure it's torso?
At an Italian villa? So I married an ex-murderer.
Torso, I married an ex-murderer.
There you go.
So I
All right, 8 for 8. You get the Nintendo 8-bit NES head cleaner. Congratulations.
Before that,
you know what? I'll throw in a Game Genie.
Oh boy,
yeah, buddy.
Before that one comes back around.
Nope, no notes.
Perfect. Let's hear the title one more time.
Bigor and Slashter.
I liked it.
It's never coming back.
I liked it. It just needs a little more time in the crisper.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Sorority Babes and the Slime Ball Bowl-O-Rama Part 2.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought this was like week 4 or 5 of this movie. This is week 2?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's understandable because it is just the first one.
Yeah. It is
minus any ounce of excitement or interest.
I liked it better this time.
No, you didn't.
I did.
How?
I hated it worse.
I found it to be funnier
Oh,
than I remembered, and I really liked the candy bar part last time. But I
you
found
did love the candy bar
I-
part.
You love candy bar and you love the farts.
I love the farts. I love the candy bar. This time around, I found more in the script that made me laugh.
The
Not
quote
like
unquote
out loud.
script.
Yeah. Hey, if this was improvised, then some people did a good job. I liked the first initiation dialogue.
Oh, you did you?
Yeah, I thought it was funnier how they're like bring out the paddle
Uh-huh.
and the initiates are like, nah, we're not gonna go for that. And then she's like, well, how about this? And pulls out the whip. They're like, no.
Oh, the cat of nine tails. Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, and they just keep.
And then
You
they
know,
pull out the
it
cans
was-
of empty whipped
Yeah.
cream, and they're like, "Yay!"
But it was showing like this is a new day, a new dawn, and these people have more agency over what happens to them, and it's cleverly done that way.
Jared, what time in the day does the initiation in the main part of the house happen?
That I don't know. Tell me.
What time of the day do the scenes with the three gentlemen outside with the boys happen?
Well, that's daytime for sure.
Mhm.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Well,
But now I'm questioning my reality.
Well, Brinky didn't care because all the scenes inside are shot for night with a blue gel on the lights outside the windows.
Mm-hmm.
So everything like you're describing, like the meandering Cool Whip
Mm-hmm.
whipped cream scene,
Mm-hmm.
is shot for night. They leave that room of Charles Band's mansion in the Cleveland Heights, and immediately it's daylight outside. And then just every time they show it, it's dark day, dark day,
Yeah.
dark day, dark day.
That's ringing a bell. That's ringing a bell.
I'd like to tell you, just like I did with the first movie, I made a list of things that I liked about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Things that I liked about this movie. Number one, the beginning that mashes up clips of bowling with women doing aerobics.
Okay.
What do you guys got?
I already told you.
Okay.
Jared likes a lot of it.
I like a lot of it. I picked it
felt
to
like
win last week.
It feels like a fucking dinner theater production.
Well,
It is
sure.
so
It's
awful.
Full Moon Entertainment.
Yeah.
This is bad for Full Moon Entertainment.
No, this.
And I've sat through Puppet Master Retro.
Have you sat through Evil Bong? There's a lot. I mean, this is bad. Don't get me wrong. It would be like maybe middle tier Full Moon, which is
the guy
bad.
that wrote Evil Bong wrote this, by the way, because we didn't get into that. It's actually Kent Routerbush who wrote who wrote this one, but it's actually Shane Bitterling. So when he writes the really bad,
Okay,
Full Moon,
the Ghost Rider,
he goes with the other name. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so he
goes with the Kent Routerbush name.
So he considered this bad.
Yes.
So not okay. Yeah.
Instead of saying Shane Bitterling.
Well, Shane, I say be proud of this, man. You did a good job.
No.
I got some laughs.
No, there are no laughs.
I think I was too harsh on it last time.
Did you buy the Blu-ray yet from Charles?
Did you pay Full Moon a subscription?
No.
To
Have we
watch...
confirmed that? Because I know that was brought up.
Oh, do you not recall the text message I sent?
Yeah, but what was that from?
That was from Mini Bothan Spies, to keep with that Star Wars theme from earlier. I don't know where it was from. I don't know where it was from. I just know that someone out there on the internet posted all the nudie scenes from this dumb movie. And I said, look, we weren't lying. There were nude scenes that were edited out of this hour-long movie.
So question on, and maybe you answered this because I didn't click the link. If there's scenes that they completely cut out that feature nudity, what about the scenes where they're watching the topless women in the house Are those still
On the
blurred out?
iPad.
Nope. Nope. You can see it.
So it was a marketing ploy.
I did see at some point in
I think this movie needs to be completely thrown out for not being a movie. We're only getting part of the production, and I
No.
refuse to pay the full amount to see the whole movie.
You're getting
I move to have this thrown from the Eat the Buckle canon. Right here,
sustained.
right now.
Wait, no. Object. What? Sustained. No.
no,
What,
you want to
overruled?
object. You wanna
Overruled.
object.
No, he sustained it too late here. He said
No,
sustained.
I'm the judge. I overrule. You're
No,
sustained.
you're
You're
sustained.
sustained. You're out of order. Get the hell out.
There is a note that apparently Charles Band himself edits the movies for content across, as he puts it, all the streamers. So
Fuck him. God,
so
what a-
even though there are exposed nipples in this on Tubi,
Mhm.
where he just fell asleep at the editing bay, I guess, because I don't know her name. There's a blonde woman, and you see the top of her nipple and areola, plain
Mhm.
as day, in the bedroom.
Yeah.
All he edited
But
out
they aren't
was
sudsy.
that sounds so
That's what it is.
dark and dirty. You just channeled Jim Wynorski.
Yeah.
They're not sudsy.
Yeah, you are out of here, sir.
But
What?
yes,
I hold you in contempt.
Overruled.
you can't handle the sudsy nipple.
This movie is an hour long. And if
Yeah.
we talk about this for 6 weeks in a row, we
It'll be
could have
longer.
just broken it down in each week into 10 minutes. We could talk 10 minutes of in detail, second to second in real time of what's happening in the movie.
Do you
Well, why
know
don't we
how I
just do
watch-
that? Because
in
it's not going to
10-minute chunks.
fucking, nothing is going to be worse than
This
this.
is going to be squeezing blood from a fucking
Do you know how I
stone
watched?
to get through this.
I took my phone and brought it up on my phone, and I made lunch while this was playing. And to Josh's point, the things that he likes is there were butt shaking and multicolors
Mhm.
with clips of bowling
And that song playing.
and the good song,
That
which
song
again,
rules.
this is the Force Awakens
Mhm.
version of Full Moon Entertainment.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That I have the option in this room that I'm sitting in to watch the rest of the movie on a 65-inch screen. If that doesn't matter, I can watch it on my 20 whatever widescreen monitor. And I continued to sit on a couch and watch it on my phone because that's how much I gave a shit about this
Yeah.
dump of a movie.
Last time we talked about it, I made the joke that like the two spirits, that Taffy and the other lady,
Taffy and Lisa.
Taffy and Lisa, that it looked like they were just like melting in and out of a Zoom background.
Yep.
And then that actually the only laugh I had during the rewatch was I forgot exactly how bad it was, and they literally do like the camera shows them, excuse me, from the side, and it looks like half their faces disappear
Yeah.
in the blue screen when they turn their heads.
Well,
Yeah.
and Lisa, who's who plays Lisa? Michelle Bauer. She is so much taller than Brinky Stevens that, like, just because of the height difference, they cut off like the top. You get her hairline and like an inch of hair.
Yeah.
And she talks about how flat her hair is, and she wants hairspray, and it's like, it doesn't matter, Lisa. We can't see you because of the effect.
Yeah.
The one of the only notes I took, because again, gonna have to leave some scraps, some crumbs for next week. I'm guessing, but one of the notes I took was the imp when he talks sounds like Scottie Pippen. You ever?
Yeah, I know Scottie.
Listen to some Scottie Pippen interviews. It sounds like the imp. And that
There's no way.
Yeah, it
There's
does.
no way.
Uh-huh.
So you're telling me Scottie Pippen talks like this,
No,
baby.
Scottie Pippen's got a real. I mean, I don't want to do it, but he has like a real deep voice.
No,
that
please,
kinda
continue.
sounds like you. And also saying, "Don't." He's imp-splaining to them. That made me laugh a lot.
Oh, I hated that line. So stupid.
Man,
He wasn't even imp-splaining. He was just. All right, I will give you one positive before I go into my only note that I took this week, besides questions. I don't mind Jessie Gill, who plays the brunette Sarah. I think she's trying in this one. And
she's terrible.
And Katie O'Neill with the glasses, Tiffany.
She's fine.
I think the two of them are good, but I think if you were thrown into outer space, or at least the outer space screensaver, you wouldn't just say gag me with a spatula. I think you would be trying to scream and breathe, and all your fluids would be freezing, and you just kind of explode inside.
That's why it's funny.
That is not funny.
It is.
And I'll give you, Katie O'Neill does have some funny, like, little bits she does in this movie. She is the only one I think actually does it or knows what acting is.
Did you notice her purse this time? That looked like a takeout?
I didn't.
Oh, well, there's something to add to your.
I thought Sarah was awful and the worst offender of the dinner theater acting.
No.
Which one's Sarah?
Bitsy, Ginger, take your pick.
Ginger gets flushed down the toilet.
Wait a second. There's someone called
I thought
Dinger.
Bitsy was fine.
There's a Dinger and a Ginger.
Yeah, Dinger's
and
one of the dudes.
Devin,
The three dudes were even more annoying than the losers in the first one.
No, I don't think so at all.
The one 8-foot tall bro with the muscle tank that he looks he looks and acts like Ken Marino trying to act like an asshole frat boy. This guy was like embodying that vibe. I hated it. I hated them all.
My one note, I'm gonna go ahead. We're running out of time because I'm looking at the time we have left, and I know I don't have enough time to go into my note, and I know what's going to be coming next week. So I'm going to table this and save this big long note. So go ahead and close this up, Jared.
Okay. Yeah, I do have more to talk about, but we'll save it because
I don't want to get into it tonight. And then
on the count of
have
three,
to edit anher segment.
On the count of three, we're going to say the movie that you all know we're going to say. So 3, 2, 1. Slime Ball Sorority Babes Part 2 Rama.
Rummy.
You guys got your list in front of you?
AKA, this is what Cleveland is really like.
What numbers? What do you guys got left?
I have nothing picked yet.
Okay, so
I got one pick, but I don't remember what numbers I was.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Okay. Let me find my list. I lost my list.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
This
is well, it's one of yours, so it's either 5 or 6.
Me?
Uh-oh.
Yep.
All right. Yours. Okay. Bunny Man Massacre.
Wait. Bunny Man Massacre?
Bunny Man Massacre.
Bunny
Man Massacre.
Oh boy. I can't even imagine. Was this done pre-Easter and you were like, maybe we'll get around to it?
This is a late Easter. I meant to go back and redo my picks to make them a little fresher for summertime.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh boy.
Here we go with
it. Doesn't matter.
But you should be happy that I didn't list the other movie I had.
Well, I hope Bunny Man Massacre is real shitty because I don't want to watch this one a 4th time.
Well,
but 3rd time. This will only be the 3rd time.
Yeah, but if it loses, we'll have to watch it a 4th time. So I'm hoping Bunny Man Massacre take seeds.
Guys,
Of
I'm
your
just going to
fences.
give you a little glimpse of the future and let you know I don't think we're going to see much worse.
Then Bunny, you've seen it?
No, than Sorority Babes
Oh.
and Slime Ball Bolorama
I don't know.
Part 2.
I've had fun with it, and it is only an hour. But anyway, check us out on the Buckle Pod at Blue Sky, Buckle Pod Gmail. Check us out. We'll see you. Save room for next week. TTFN.
Send us email. Bye, Buckle Buddies.
TTFN.
Woo! Ooh, have fun in the spirit.
Ooh, time to get back to that poker game.
Tell Epstein I said hi.
What, a Ouija board?
Ouija.
What?
It's pronounced Ouija, not Ouija. It comes from the French and German words for yes. Oui and ja. Ouija.